Ladies and gentlemen, our 2019 Spirit Medal recipient, Winston Churchill.
I always remember President Reagan, and they put him up there, and he said, "What are my lines? What are my lines?" Seriously, though, this is spectacular. I mean, I'm absolutely thankful and amazed and blown away, really. So thank you all so much. Now the prepared portion. Ellen has always wanted me to have a bar mitzvah, but this is beyond. Thank you, honey, and thank all of you. And special thanks to my co-founder, Mark Solomon, and to Darrell Shore for his inspirational words tonight. Darrell is a true example of Gesu's success. I would also like to recognize the 3 or 4 people who have been serving the children and their families at the school for the entire 25 years. Sister Ellen, Father Neil, Laura Weatherly, and Tyrone Myers. 25 years. Ellen and I love to collect the sayings of wise men and women. In my calendar for today's date is a saying of Colin Powell. A dream doesn't become reality through magic. It takes sweat, determination, and hard work. Unbeknownst to me, Ellen also has a collection of what she calls winisms. Stuff you say to yourself or your children when things are tough. Only look forward, never backward. Lasting buildings are built one stone at a time. The more you give away, the more you have left. Life is not a spectator sport. All of our children have heard that, over and over again. Luck favors the prepared mind. That's not particularly original. You must start education in early grades. It's a gating event to life. Winisms, can you imagine? Only a beautiful wife would collect such things. But anyway, this is really not about me, as some of us have been saying, and it's true. I had an idea 25 years ago which seemed pretty obvious, that a school like this was needed and possible. But all the rest is a tribute to years of hard work and, of course, the kids. And maybe the execution of the idea is really the key, since 25 years have passed and Gesu is still unique. Our mission at Gesu has a lot of relevance in this changing and somewhat frightening world. Sometimes civilization is maintained in the little things, picking up a piece of trash on the sidewalk, saying thank you to the mailman, or getting a fresh haircut before family dinner because you know it will make your grandma happy. And it's important for keeping peace sometimes. Gesu's work includes these little things: civility, manners, respect, humility. Our work is also about bigger and harder things, as our mission statement says. We are here to help our students transcend the forms of poverty by providing a comprehensive, relevant, and innovative education in a rapidly changing world. So this is why we need smart, well-intentioned people, charitable people, to help us continuously adapt and improve. My highest achievement in service to Gesu's mission has been to help the school recruit some of our region's most generous and thoughtful people to join our mission. Many of my best recruits are here tonight. It speaks for itself. And for a formerly parish school located in North Philadelphia, it is a pretty amazing coalition. An exceptional contingent of good Catholics, Protestants, Muslims, and Jews. For those of you that know me well, it represents the major aspects of my life in one room. Incredible. Thank you all for sharing in my one maybe obvious but good idea. Now I'm getting the pages all confused here. There was a loose leaf book up here, but I didn't notice it earlier. So My earliest memories start at age 4 or 5 when my father was drafted into the Army and left my mother and the three of us in West Oak Lane to become a sergeant under General Patton prior to D-Day. He survived and returned, thank God. It was a hard time for our family, but many others had it far, far worse. Many of your families and families around the world experienced unimaginable horrors. The atrocities of the Holocaust occurred in Germany, Eastern Europe, and the Soviet Union, and countless other millions died as well. Post-World War II, the rest of my life has been an incredible journey. I got a bunch of scholarships and have been fortunate to have lived through one of the most remarkable periods of material progress in human history. But the fair shot at prosperity and political access was not for all. Darrell's reference to the level playing field. My first job as a lawyer was spent working for Bobby Kennedy in the Department of Justice in Montgomery and Selma, Alabama, and that was one hell of an experience. In my lifetime, significant progress was made toward voting rights equality, not enough to declare victory, but still significant political progress. A couple of miles from here, and almost 250 years ago, our founders had a debate about the meaning of fairness. This resulted in our founding principle that all men and women are created equal. In today's political dialogue, the debate about the meaning of that comes down to the question of the difference between equal opportunity and material equality. Here at Gesu, we don't have to get into that. We believe that life is competitive and that a good grade school education is the gating event to life, as I said. Without a good grade school foundation, there can be no access to Central, Boys Latin, Masterman, Temple, Drexel, or Harvard, or Princeton. No level playing field. To quote Martin Luther King's paraphrase of Theodore Parker's words, the arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends toward justice. That was optimistic, and we need optimism. Because now, as in the era between the two world wars, we have huge new threats to equal opportunity from hate and bigotry. More sticky pages here. A politics of fear, resentment, and anger has begun to rear its ugly head worldwide, while the existence of the internet has made this social disease as viral as virtue had once been. This in a time of the greatest material prosperity in the history of the human race. But how do we go from the macro to the micro? This seems to me to be a very important problem for us to be considering if we are in the Gesu school tradition truly to be and produce men and women for others. Tikkun Olam for short. Collectively, the sponsors, teachers, and administrators, all of us in this room tonight, who work toward the fulfillment of Gesu's mission, have honored the call to a responsibility not only for our own moral, spiritual, and material welfare, but also for the welfare of others, society at large. Darrell's life is a shining example of what we were talking about. While he had many choices about a career in the highly competitive field of the financial markets, he has chosen to spend his life dealing with lives and not just money. And as he and all of us here this evening know, the work is never truly done. It requires continual care and maintenance. This brings me to a final question that I think all of us should be thinking about. What sort of education should be offered at all different levels in our area, from our beautiful Gesu school to places like Masterman, Cristo Rey, Boys Latin, Shipley, Baldwin, Penn, Drexel, Temple, etc., and likewise in other cities around the country? What is the meaning of fair to our disadvantaged children in a rapidly changing society and job market in the 21st century? The answer to that is not that obvious. So what do? Sit back and wring our hands? Yogi Berra, a final saying, Yogi Berra had a saying about this. When you come to the fork in the road, take it. Taking the fork in the road is really about overcoming fear and indecision. He who hesitates is lost, that sort of thing. Rabbi Lord Jonathan Sacks, head rabbi of the Hebrew congregations of the British Commonwealth, put the same thought this way: one who fears tomorrow does not share his bread with others. But he who is willing to divide his food with a stranger is capable of fellowship and hope. Food shared is no longer the bread of affliction. So in conclusion, I want to say that I feel pretty confident, pretty optimistic. Gesu is a microcosm and a model where we all together have created several entire generations of Gesu students who, like Darrell, are out or will soon be out in this fascinating but challenging world, making it a better place. The answer, I think, is that the good will prevail. It is way better to light one little candle than to curse the darkness. For 25 years, Gesu has lit the candle for thousands of children, providing a path toward a brighter future. Gesu is a family, and at the heart of what makes a better society is a strong family core. I am grateful for my family: Ellen, John, Noah, Stephen, Dunham, and Henry. I am grateful for my extended family, for all of you and other wonderful friends of the school and of Ellen and myself. And I am grateful to all of you who are part of the Gesu family tonight, helping bring more brightness and hope to our teeter-totter world, one beautiful child at a time. Thank you.